Yes, I think we have success. I
Oh, good.
am I'm having a great chat with actress, author, survivor, may I say that, Angela Cartwright, who is going to be the very, very special guest of the Santa Barbara Choral Society for their wonderful holiday Christmas concert. This is now the fifth year. It's called Hallelujah Project 5 because it's the fifth year. And Angela is following in the speak steps, so to say, of some very interesting colleagues, including one that you know very, very well from a certain film that you made a long time ago, Sound of Music.
Oh,
We'll
yeah?
yeah, we'll talk about that. This is going to be Santa Barbara Choral Society performances on December 9 and 10. That's Saturday and Sunday. Saturday evening at 8 o'clock on December 9th, and at 3 o'clock on Sunday, the 10th of December. We'll talk about tickets a little later. Dirt cheap, let me tell you. And this has this tradition of bringing in a celebrity to read the iconic "Twas the Night Before Christmas" has become really a hit for the Santa Barbara Choral Society and for Santa Barbaraans. Everyone's looking forward to this. So all of you throughout Southern California who are watching this little chat with Angela Cartwright. We'll talk numbers and phone numbers and such later, but you know, it's Santa Barbara's a beautiful city. It's well worth coming up, have a dinner, have a lovely luncheon on Sunday if you like, and then catch this really very pleasant holiday concert. So, you know, can I just begin? I know we're going to have to touch on. Let me just pull this down. Um, I was a giant fan in high school of Lost in Space. I
Aha.
watched it religiously, and those 3 years, it began in 1965, as you know. Those 3 years seemed like a dozen. It seemed as though that show just went on and on and on. I was mesmerized by it, as were so many others. You know, and the career goes prior. You were on Make Room for Daddy, played
Right.
a role there. The Danny Thomas Show, which later became the Danny Thomas Show. You were in the iconic film, The Sound of Music. Do you mind, for the umpteen zillionth time, giving me a little overview of what life was like as a child star? You were a Hollywood child star, no doubt about it. And the good, the bad, and the ugly. How's that for starters?
Well, goodness. I don't think we have that much time, but in just the cliff notes, I guess. I was born in England, came to America, dreamed of, my parents dreamed of living by the water in California. They did. My parents both worked, and our next door neighbor said my sister and I were cute and we should go and see this agent who was looking for kids. And that's what happened. We went on an interview there. She signed us, and the first thing I went on, I got, and that was for Sparkletts Water. I was a Sparkletts Water girl at 3 years old, and just went on Danny Thomas show. Got that. That ran for 7 years, and I was British, but I had a Brooklyn accent on that show, and we shot that live, and that was quite an experience for 7 years. And then right from that, I left and did The Sound of Music, which was such a wonderful film to be a part of. It took a year to film, and it was just fantastic. And it's a movie that just doesn't go away. And I do a trip every year to Salzburg, Austria,
I
and I
saw
take
that.
a group of people with me, and we have a blast. We go to the locations, and I talk about the behind the scenes things that happened, and it is really, really fun. And I'm going to be doing it earlier this year. I'm going to be doing it in May, so you can check my website for those exact dates when they're set.
I'm going to put
But
that up on
that
the
is really fun. If you're a Sound of Music fan, I take you places that other tours don't go. So it's really, really fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for putting all that in, and I'll of course get your website up on the e-blast that we'll send out throughout Southern California. This goes all over Southern California, about
Right.
9,000 subscribers. I do a little tour myself. I take a little orchestra called Emeriti Philharmonic every summer to different places. People my age, that's why we call ourselves Emeriti, and we have a
Oh, that's
wonderful.
awesome.
So Portugal's coming up next time. Anyway, enough of me.
Oh,
But talking about I once upon a time, I was an extra on the filming of the film My Favorite Martian. So I know that people have kind of a mistaken idea that this is a glamorous thing, and that but they don't understand that people in your position have to be at work at the crack of dawn. And there's a lot of sitting around and hanging on. Can you just once again to just dwell on your life as a youth, in as a young Hollywood actress, give everybody an idea of just how tough that profession is.
Well, it becomes, I think you have to be a certain kind of person, I'm a double Virgo. So it kind of is good for me to always be, on time and be, working. And I enjoy that. That makes my life very rich. So as a child, you have to go to school for 3 hours, and then you go to the set and go back to school and go to the set. It very disciplined to be able to say, danger, danger, the aliens are coming, and then go back and go, oh, okay, this algebra is this way. It's an interesting life. I didn't live another one, so I have no comparison. It's been a very blessed life, and I've had such a good time just doing these different things. But no, it's not totally glamorous. It is a lot of work, and you have to put makeup on, and then you have to be ready to go. You have to know your lines, and it's very disciplined. So today they do things a little differently than they did in my day. I call it classic days. I don't like to say old, but it was Danny Thomas show. We did it live, like a live play, and we did that week after week. And Lost in Space, we did like 36 episodes a year. None of this 6 or 8 episode thing, and then that's a year, and you don't see the show again for another year and a half. So it's work, just keeping up the pace. But I loved it. I enjoyed being in the business. I had some wonderful experiences.
Do you still get tiny royalty checks? I'm just curious. That just popped
Very
into my
tiny.
head. I just wondered.
I'll tell you, Sound of Music has been just a lovely thing to be a part of. And, they play it year after year, and it's like an evergreen movie, and people love this movie. So anything that makes people feel good is great to be a part of.
Now,
and Lost in Space, you said you were a fan of that.
Oh.
And that's got like such a following. And it really inspired people to go into space or the sciences, or it was such a time of grabbing people's imagination, I think.
Yeah, and that was the time, the 60s, John F. Kennedy, the launch, the determination to put a man on the moon, all that good stuff. The timing couldn't have been better. Now, let's just talk about Survivors just a little bit longer. The idea is, you are way more than in your life than just an actress, as you know very well. You're an author, you're a visual artist, you're a photographer. Talk about making the most of your life. Give everybody that's watching this a little idea of just how busy and how diverse is your artistic life.
Well, it is very busy, I must say. I try to make the most because this is the only life I have this time round. And so I want to fill every moment that I can. I am an artist, and I find great satisfaction in doing that. I also have 3 grandkids that I'm very much a part of their life, and I love that. That's fantastic. Those are the things that have been kind of keeping me busy lately. And I also have been doing books. I did Styling the Stars, Lost Treasures from the 20th Century Fox Archives, which I don't know if you've seen it or not, just came out in paperback. It's a great gift because these pictures were never meant to be seen by the public. They're behind the scenes. They were continuity photographs that are shot of every single actor before they start shooting, so that wardrobe and hair can match for another scene. And so people were never meant to see that. And I had this idea. I knew these pictures were out there. I'm a lover of photography. I have been a photographer for years. And I got permission to go into the archives, and took 2 years to put that book together. I did it with Tom McLaren, who's great with organizing and the numbers, and that was fantastic. Going through the files that were all dusty and everything. Some pictures hadn't been seen for like 30 years. So if you love old Hollywood, fantastic pictures of almost every star that was at 20th Century Fox.
Give me the title of what's for everybody.
It's Styling the Stars, Lost Treasures from the 20th Century Fox Archives. And
Fabulous.
I have held that on my website signed, but you can get it at bookstores or Amazon.
Yeah, and I'll put up your website as I mentioned earlier. And I do remember I was amazed. I'm just a musician. I'm just an orchestra conductor. I don't know from Hollywood, but during that little stint as an extra, this business of continuity shots, I had no idea that someone would run around and take zillions of pictures at the end of a scene, for example, or when they shut down the cameras, in order to be able to return to that exact look, style,
Yeah. I
moment.
mean, something's like unbuttoned or a hat's tilted a different way, and then you go into another set and it doesn't match. It really jars you. And a lot of times people don't understand why this is bugging them, and it's because lack of continuity. Actors are also responsible for matching. That bugs the heck out of me. If, like, their shirt is up, their shirt is off, the bandage is on, the bandage is off, and it's like, whoa, who's paying attention here?
Yeah,
So yeah, it's something near and dear to my heart, and so
fascinating,
I
and
enjoyed
they're
writing that. And
fascinating
we
and
also did the book with Bill Mooney from Lost in Space, Lost and Found in Space, which the idea of getting these archival photographs, we were able to go into the archives of Lost in Space and find a zillion pictures that had never been seen before. But Bill and I just started to think about when we were shooting and our memories, and we started jotting it down, and oh my God, so much stuff came up. It was just a blast doing that book.
and what a treasure trove, as you've said, of shots that nobody's ever seen before for both these
Well,
books. Wonderful.
you love that show. There's some real funny stuff in there. There's just our memories, and that's a really cool book also, Lost and Found in Space.
Let me throw in a little more details about the concerts coming up with Santa Barbara Choral Society. Joanne Wasserman is the artistic director and conductor, and it's going to be your typical Hollywood. Excuse me, your typical holiday, I meant to say, concert with the First Noel, White Christmas, Joy to the World, all those wonderful works for chorus, A Christmas Carol, all that good stuff with the San Marcos High School singers, and there's going to be a bell choir. I mean, it can't be any more Christmassy than that at the, by the way, historic Lobero Theater in downtown Santa Barbara. Once more, dates are 8 o'clock, December 9th, 3 p.m. on Sunday, December 10th. They're going to, the chorus and orchestra, there will be an orchestra along. By the way, it's a wonderful orchestration behind you for the reading of "'Twas the Night Before
I
Christmas."
know. I've just got to break in for a second
Sure.
because I had never done this before, and I love the idea, of doing things I had never done before. And it was somebody actually on my Sound of Music tour that was associated with this, and she came to ask me if I would be involved. One thing I love is Christmas. I love the tradition of Christmas, and this is, to me, one of those things that you can go to with your family, and really is what it's about. It's not about the material stuff. It's more about the feeling, and I love that. So family oriented, and it is so beautiful to just sit and listen to those fantastic Christmas carols. It's so exciting. I'm very excited to.
And of course, there's also, because the Choral Society has been around for 70 years now. It's one of the major choirs in this region. Of course, there's going to be the Hallelujah Chorus. So
Oh yes,
get
hallelujah.
get ready, and Vivaldi's Gloria, wonderful, wonderful piece of wonderful classical music, very famous piece by Antonio Vivaldi, Gloria. Now let's just go back. Let me go back a little bit. Check where I am. Oh, by the way, ticket prices for everybody: $25. Give me a break.
It's really
$25.
great, and it's also such a beautiful city too. So you can really enjoy your time there, and make it like a little weekend.
Children 7 to 17, $7. Give me a break. That's incredible. And if you want to go fancy pants and do the concert reception after each of these performances, $70. All you can eat and drink. I think would be a good way of putting it. But let's have a little look at your predecessors. Let me find them here. Hang on, got to have a little search. In the reading, this is
Shirley Jones did it last year.
that's right.
Is that right?
Yes, Fanny Flagg,
Right.
comedian and author, brilliant. I love her book. Her novels are just brilliant. Who else? Let me see. Stephanie Zimbalist.
Hmm.
So you're in pretty good company, all of you.
I know, it's awesome.
So tell me, Now, I know you can't, but it's kind of like a pop singer or any singer singing something that everybody in the audience knows every word to. Very, very dangerous, very scary stuff. Have you? Can you divulge anything about whether you've had a chance even to look at the piece yet? Whether you have any idea about how you might twist it just to touch that reading?
Oh, the reading, I think, it's such a brilliant poem. I grew up on it. We read it every Christmas. I read it to my kids every holiday. My grandchildren are going to be sitting while Grandma reads it to them on the Sunday performance.
Oh,
They're quite young, so that being 3 o'clock in the afternoon when this whole event is going to be perfect. And there's no real twist. You just have to say it, the poem just sincerely. And I got to tell you, the music really moves it along. I've rehearsed with the pianist, who's brilliant, and I thought, oh my God, this sounds so cool. It's just going to be totally enjoyable. And
absolutely.
let's face it, Santa's got to come into our hearts, and it's a great way to celebrate.
Absolutely, and as you said, it's a brilliant family event, no doubt about it, for children, as they say, of all ages. Let me just make sure I haven't forgotten anybody. I think I've found this now. Now, of course, I've just lost it. Oh, here we go. So the previous readers, you're number five, Hallelujah Project Five.
All right.
Previous Hallelujah, indeed. We've got, as I mentioned, the comedian and author Fanny Flagg was first up. Actress Stephanie Zimbalist, who lives in the Santa Ynez Valley nearby. Allison Sweeney, and as we've discussed, Shirley Jones. I presume you have a memory or two of The Sound of Music and the making of that film, and she was your mom on that film, so that you are following in her footsteps.
Well, actually, not.
No.
I mean,
Oh,
he was in the play. I was in the
ah.
movie. Julie Andrews.
Oh, Julie
I
Andrews.
thought
Sorry.
Julie
Thanks for.
Andrews did this choral thing, but
Thanks
I
for.
know Shirley quite well, actually. So
Wonderful. Well,
I
yeah.
feel like those are pretty big footsteps to step into.
And thanks for correcting me. As I say, whenever I get in trouble, I'm just a musician. What
Oh,
can I
you're
do?
in trouble on that one because I'm telling you, everybody's like, "No, Julie Andrews was
Okay.
Maria. What are you talking
See?
about?"
Okay, there we go. Let's see. It's been
I
a
think she
great.
did do it on stage, though. Shirley, that's why you're
Okay.
confused.
Oh, good. Thank you for giving me that alibi. That's perfect.
I forgive you.
Listen, Angela Cartwright, what a great pleasure to have a little peek at your home. You're so full of energy and stamina and power and artistic creativity. It just you reek of all of that good stuff, if I can use that
Oh my goodness,
word.
thanks.
It's been a great pleasure chatting with you, and I'll look forward to seeing you Saturday evening or Sunday afternoon. And your
Yeah.
grandkids are going to be sitting around you in the for the Sunday
Yes, on the
performance.
Sunday performance.
That's
Yes.
that's going to be one they'll remember for a long time.
I hope so. I
You
mean,
know.
I think it's just very special. I know my daughter and my son both remember us reading that to them every Christmas,
Mhm.
Christmas Eve. It's just become a tradition, and everybody needs those traditions so we can
Absolutely,
stay close to what it's all about.
absolutely. Angela Cartwright, thank you very much indeed. It's been a great pleasure chatting with you.
Thank
Good.
you. Nice talking to you too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.